What's up, guys? How's it going? It's your boy 6 Hellcat. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are having a great day. Weekend's pretty much over. Pretty much gonna get back to normal life the next day or two. Well, I mean, as normal as you can get during this whole COVID thing going on right now. But I'm on my way to a car meet. But I was looking through my YouTube comments earlier today, and I was looking through a few videos, and I found a question that comes up quite often, and that is getting a Hellcat worth it? So, should I buy like a Hellcat? And this is something that it's kind of like a matter of opinion depending on like who the person is, but I know a lot of you guys have been asking this question, so I decided to make a video and answer it. So I'm on my way to a car meet right now. I'm gonna go ahead and get in the car and talk about my personal opinion on that matter. I mean, I've owned two Hellcats, so I'm kind of a little bit biased, but I'm gonna go ahead and talk to you guys. Is it actually worth getting a Hellcat, and what you need to know before buying a Hellcat? So that's also a really important thing that we need to take into consideration here. So I'm gonna get into a little bit more detail, but we're gonna go ahead and start up my Hellcat and go for a drive right now on the way to the car meet. So let's go and start her up. All right, even for sounding stock, it's still pretty loud. Neighbors walking, honestly. And even with my old Hellcat, I really didn't have too many problems with my neighbors. They didn't really complain even once about my exhaust, and that was back when my car was completely straight pipe, so I'm sure they're much more happier with the way the car sounds right now. But once this dual fuel pump comes in, the exhaust is going to be loud again. It won't be as loud as my old Hellcat. That's not really my goal, but I do have to remove the cats once it goes on E85, so that's kind of inevitable. But regardless, that's the plan. Hopefully this dual fuel pump comes in within the next week or two, so I can get this thing on E85, because honestly I'm tired of being stock at this point. I'm gonna go ahead and let the car warm up for a sec, but close the garage. Don't want all the emissions getting in the garage. All right, guys, now that the car has warmed up and I've been driving it for a few minutes, let's go ahead and get right into the question here. Let's get some answers for you guys. So first off, I do want to say, if you do plan on getting a Hellcat, a lot of you guys, this is pretty much the only car that you're gonna own, and I don't think that's a good idea. So if you do plan on getting a Hellcat, I highly suggest getting a people were staring, but I highly suggest getting a daily driver. So I have a daily driver that honestly, I don't really drive it as much as I drive the Hellcat. I have the daily driver for work and whatnot, and I'm not driving my daily as much as I should, considering the fact that I've been driving this Hellcat quite often. But I do highly recommend getting a daily, because dailying this car, it's very expensive. So the gas alone, let's go ahead and take a look at my miles per gallon. So right now 14.5 miles per gallon, which honestly isn't too bad, since I was cruising earlier today on the freeway, so the miles per gallon went a little bit up. But usually when I'm like driving on the streets, it's around like 9 to 10 miles per gallon, which is absolutely terrible. So if this is something that you plan on dailying, I would think twice about it, unless you just have money to shit out of your ass, because it does get expensive. It does add up. So you guys definitely got to be sure. These are all the additional expenses on top of already owning a Hellcat. So a lot of people don't think about it. They just think about the monthly payment and how much the car costs. And man, my downtown is lit, man. COVID what? So pretty much, let me just get a little bit off topic, but our governor shut down the state of California pretty much again. So they shut down all indoor restaurants. So my downtown area, it's a bunch of small local businesses, and they're all they actually shut down the downtown street, and everything's outside, like exterior dining. So it's pretty cool, honestly. People are kind of over this COVID thing, obviously, but I mean, the tables and everything are like 6 feet apart, which is what the governor wants. But pretty good. Happy for my local businesses staying open. Definitely got to go support them soon. Damn, it's lit. Jesus, I haven't rolled through downtown in a cool minute. But anyways, guys, getting off topic. So you got to think about all the additional expenses that come with owning a car like this, a muscle car. It's a very high performance car. Definitely requires a lot of maintenance. So now that I answered that little first part, I do want to get into the maintenance costs and whatnot. So I definitely do want to say, monthly payment is not the only thing you guys should be worried about. There's also insurance. So I got an interesting fact for you guys. So when I had my Challenger Hellcat, my insurance did draw. My Challenger Hellcat, it was pretty expensive. The insurance on it, I think I was paying like $2,000 a year, which is honestly pretty cheap. but it's still expensive for insurance in general. But I did get lucky with that. Now when I picked up this Charger Hellcat, it's 4 doors, and I was honestly expecting the insurance to fucking jump through the roof, because it is a 2020 versus my 2016 Hellcat, and I thought it would be more expensive since it's a newer car. However, I was to my surprise, the insurance actually dropped quite considerably. I think I'm paying $1,600 a year for insurance, and I have AAA. So I got really lucky. I was honestly surprised, but it kind of makes sense. A 2-door car versus a 4-door car. The 2-door is under insurance, it's considered a sports car, so the insurance is definitely going to be more expensive versus a 4-door. Oh my god, should I take this? Should I take this? Nah, I could have taken it, god damn it. But anyways guys, so it does kind of make sense from an insurance standpoint, 4-door versus 2-door. Obviously this is a 700 horsepower 4-door sedan, but however it is still considered like a family car, like a 4-door sedan. So I got really lucky with that. I'm really honestly excited. When I first did get insurance on the car, I was like, what the hell? I was like blown off my mind. On top of that, insurance prices have also dropped considerably due to this whole COVID thing, because people are not driving as much as they used to, because people are not working as much and they're working from home. A lot of people are working from home now. So I'm not working from home. I'm actually still on site. I'm still working at my work, so they didn't shut us down, unfortunately. But you know, all this unemployment people, they're making bank, from what I heard. But anyways guys, I'm getting off topic again. Definitely got to think about insurance. Now besides insurance, gas, I went into that, but you guys need to understand how much money I spend on gas. So a full tank, at least here in California, a full tank is like $65 to $70 depending politics and whatnot. Gas prices go up, especially here in California. Like our gas prices right now, it's around like $3.60 a gallon. So if you cross the border into Nevada, man, I swear to god, it drops like $2. So I know in Texas, like, gas is stupid cheap as well, so you guys are definitely lucky out there. However, here in California, we're kind of screwed on the gas. There's really not much to do about that. We can't really do anything about the gas out here, so it kind of is what it is. But be prepared to spend a ton of money on gas. I swear to god, every day I take out this car and I go hang out with D-Rod or Rush or someone, I pretty much blow a whole tank. I fill up the day up, like in the beginning of the day, I'll fill up, and then by nighttime when I come back home, my tank is gone. So that's $70 a day that I just spent on just gas, guys, on just gas. So it's pretty crazy, honestly, when you think about it. I don't even want to think about how much money I spend on gas every week or every month. If I had to guesstimate, every week, sheesh, I'd maybe fill up like 4 times a week, say. So that's like $300 a week coming out of my wallets just on gas. 300 times 4, that's $1,200 a month on gas, which honestly is like kind of makes me want to cry right now. Be right back, guys. I'm gonna go cry a river. But anyways, yeah, like right now I filled up this morning, and look at me, I'm already like below half a tank. So it definitely does suck. So you got to think about all these hidden fees that a lot of people don't think about, all these hidden expenses of having a high performance car like this. It's a gas guzzler. It spends gas like crazy. Now another thing I want to take into consideration with you guys is the maintenance costs. So maintenance is what exactly? So maintenance is we're talking about tires, we're talking about brakes, rotors. Don't get me started on the rotors. On my old Hellcat Challenger, I replaced my rotors 3 times since I raced the living crap out of that car. And the rotors, let me say, if you buy them directly from the dealership or from Brembo, which is what the rotors are, they're Brembo rotors, they are $1,200 for each rotor. Okay guys, let me say that again, $1,200 for each rotor. It is stupid expensive because it's a 2-piece rotor. It has a little hat piece bolted on to the rotor, so it's a 2-piece, which is meant to disperse more heat, and it does work, but they are really expensive. So $1,200 for each rotor, and you replace the front 2. Man, this car is slammed to the ground. Look at this thing. His front bumper fell off, Jesus. But $1,200 for each rotor, guys. Imagine replacing that 3 times. So a pair of rotors is $2,400 times 3. That's, what's that, 48? That's like $5,600 if I did my math correctly, or like $5,200 on rotors, guys. On freaking rotors, on a disc. Unbelievable. That's not even including pads. That's not including the rear rotors. That is just the front rotors. It makes me cry just thinking about how much money I spent on my old Hellcat. So I've definitely been trying to ease down on the brakes on this car. I'm definitely like letting the car either downshift it or not use the brakes as much, just letting it cool down without applying the brakes as much, because those things are hella expensive. I definitely don't want to be going through rotors anytime soon in the near future. I've only had this car for a few months now, so hopefully we'll have to replace it for at least like 2 years. I'm hoping these rotors will last 2 years. On my old Hellcat, I was young. I had a Hellcat when I was 21, my first Hellcat, and I think the first time I replaced the rotors was like 6 months into owning the car, because I was racing the living crap out of it. So definitely just be wary of that, guys. Rotors are no joke. Now tires, also on the other hand, tires, I went through tires on my old Hellcat like crazy as well. I had a whole drag setup, and I would go through those tires like every 2 months. If you guys follow me on Instagram back then, I know I didn't have a YouTube channel back then, which I kind of regret now, because I could look back and just cry myself to sleep every night knowing how much money I spent on all this stuff. But I replaced tires like every 2 months, and they were on the drag tires. So the NT 555Rs, they're like, I think they're like $260, $270 a piece. So imagine like $500, over $500. That's like $540, $550, $600 installed probably on top of the wheels. Imagine like $600 every two to 3 months on tires alone, guys. So just think about all this stuff. A lot of people just think about, oh, how much did you pay for your Hellcat, or what's your monthly payment on it? Nobody really asks, oh, like how much does it truly cost to own one of these cars? So this is where honestly a lot of people fall into debt and fall into all kinds of things, horrible like credit card debt and whatnot, because they didn't realize all the extra additional costs of owning a car like this. Even with my Scat Pack, like my maintenance was crazy on that too. I would go through tires a lot too. I went through my rotors once, and I had a few engine problems with that car as well. So it's definitely not cheap just owning not only just a Hellcat, but it's just a muscle car in general. It's not cheap. It's a hobby. It's a very expensive hobby. You got to be wary of these expensive guys. So just take that into consideration before you buy a muscle car like this. And I'm not trying to talk you guys down or change your minds on buying a Hellcat. It's definitely a super fun car to drive. I enjoy it every single day. I'm truly blessed to be able to afford a car like this, and not just one Hellcat, but I've had 2 Hellcats, and this is my 4th muscle car that I've owned in the span of 4 years. I mean, I'm 24 years old, and I've owned 2 Hellcats, a Scat Pack, and an RT. So I'm definitely very blessed. If you guys can obviously afford to buy a Hellcat, then I say go for it. However, if you're on the ropes of buying a Hellcat, if it's going to put you on a major budget, I would reconsider buying a Hellcat. Just save your money, save up for a Hellcat. If that is truly your dream car, save up for it, because you definitely don't want to be working for your car. So my mentor a long time ago, he told me this. He said, you don't want to be working for your car. So if you're just working paycheck to paycheck for your car, it's not a car worth having, because you cannot afford it. And that is something that I've always lived by. Thank you, Ronnie, for that saying. I remember that from a very long time ago at my very first job. But I'll always remember that saying, that if you gotta work paycheck to paycheck for your car, it's not worth having it, because at that point it's no fun to just be working your ass off every day to just have the car. It makes no sense. So save your money, guys, invest it, do whatever you need to do, get a better job if that's what needs to be done, guys. I know a lot of this stuff is just temporary work. This isn't something that you want to do career-wise. Even my job that I'm at right now, this is not something that I want to do career-wise, even though I'm making a good amount of money. It's not something that I see myself doing for the rest of my life. This is not something I want to do with the rest of my life. I have my own vision of my future. So but that's gonna be the end of this video, guys. Hope you guys did enjoy this little pep talk or whatnot on if you should own a Hellcat, or if you should buy a Hellcat. If you guys did like these kind of videos, just let me know in the comments down below, and I'll be sure to make some more videos on this. I mean, I definitely have a lot of experience with muscle cars in general, as far as buying them, purchasing them, what you guys need to know about it. So if you guys have any additional questions, just send me in the comments down below, guys, and I'll be happy to answer you guys' questions. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good day, guys.